The girl I watched grow up is now in my bed with my husband. She used to sit cross-legged on my living room floor, braiding doll's hair while I poured wine with her mother and complained about work, marriage, life. I remember helping her pick out dresses for school events, watching her roll her eyes at us like teenagers always do, laughing when she called me auntie even though we weren't related. She was a constant presence in my life for years, growing up quietly in the background while my own life moved forward. By the time all of this happened, she was an adult, legally, fully, but my body still reacted like she was a child when I saw her standing in my bedroom doorway. I had been away for a long weekend, visiting my sister, trying to clear my head after months of tension in my marriage that I couldn't quite name. My husband had been distant but attentive in performative ways, texting me updates about the house, about errands, about how quiet it felt without me. I believed him. I wanted to. When I came home earlier than planned, the house felt wrong immediately. Not messy. Not chaotic. Too calm. Like a place that had settled into a rhythm that didn't include me. I heard laughter upstairs. Soft, familiar, female. For a second, my mind refused to go where my feet were already carrying me. I opened the bedroom door and saw them together, my husband and her, tangled in a reality that snapped something inside my chest clean in half. She froze when she saw me. He didn't even try to explain. The room looked the same as always. Our bed. Our sheets. Our photos on the walls. Except now she was standing there, wrapped in my robe, eyes wide with panic, looking at me like I was the intruder. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I asked one question, quietly, because my voice was the only thing I could still control. How long? Neither of them answered immediately, which told me everything I needed to know. Later, piece by piece, the truth came out, not because they wanted to tell me, but because I refused to let silence protect them. It had been going on for months. Conversations first. Complaints. Emotional closeness disguised as concern. He framed himself as misunderstood. She framed herself as mature, different, not like other girls her age. I remembered every time she'd been over for dinner. Every holiday. Every casual hug hello. I replayed moments where my husband had offered to drive her home, where I trusted him without hesitation. The betrayal wasn't just marital. It was generational. Intimate in a way that felt predatory, even if no laws were broken. The worst part wasn't what they did together. It was how normal it had become for them. He admitted he liked the way she looked at him. Admiring. Grateful. Untouched by the years of disappointment and resentment that existed between us. She admitted she liked feeling chosen by someone powerful, older, established, someone who made her feel special instead of invisible. They had created a fantasy where I didn't exist, where my history with both of them was inconvenient background noise. When I told her mother, her face collapsed in on itself. Not anger at first, shock. Then grief. Then something darker. She apologized to me through tears that weren't entirely about me. I saw then that this betrayal had fractured more than just my marriage. It had torn through a friendship, a family, an entire shared past. My husband tried to minimize it. He said she was an adult. He said it just happened. He said it didn't mean anything. But meaning isn't measured by intention, it's measured by damage. And the damage was everywhere. I left. Not immediately, but decisively. I packed only what I needed and walked out of the house that no longer felt like mine. He didn't stop me. He watched the way men do when they realize control has slipped but pride won't let them chase. I don't speak to her anymore. I don't speak to him. And my friendship with her mother exists now in a careful, wounded silence, too much history to erase, too much pain to ignore. Some betrayals are loud and obvious. Others creep in quietly, wearing familiar faces, speaking in voices you trust. And some change the way you look at every memory that came before, because once you see how easily lines can be crossed, you realize how fragile they always were.